Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. This is part 3 of my solar powered crypto mining spa pool heater project. I've ordered the power supply and GPU. The power supply has arrived. The GPU is about another 1 or 2 weeks away, so we can carry on and get the power supply installed today. I had originally planned to use an 850 watt power supply, but when I looked at the specifications I found their efficiency is based on the amount of load you're pulling. It's a curve. And when you're operating near the top of the curve, it's around 90% efficient. When you're operating around 50% of the power supply's capacity, it's around 94% efficient. So I've actually ended up going for a 1000 watt power supply because it's 4% more efficient. I've worked out that over 12 months, the additional cost of the power supply will pay for itself in power savings. Let's swap out the power supply in the computer at the moment for a new 1000 watt one. Let's have a look at this baby. Wow, quite a big box for the size of the power supply. It's almost life size to the picture. Okay, this case is held on with just some thumb screws, so we'll take those out. And there's some little rubber washers between the glass and the case we have to make sure we don't lose. Those are the little rubber parts I was referring to, so we have to be careful. We'll put those back so we don't lose them now. They come off real easy. Alright, let's unscrew the power supply from the back. Last screw coming out there. Okay, it looks like it might come out from the other side of the case. Looks like I didn't have to take the glass side off after all. Let's switch it round. Let's see, we've got some thumb screws here. Very tight thumb screws. There we go. Alright, there's our power supply to come out. You can see the size difference between the old and new power supplies. So we're going from a 500 to a 1000 watt. Okay, so this is a modular power supply, so all the cables are in it. This is a modular power supply, so the cables plug in. Whereas this one, they're all built in, so I have to just detach everything and then thread it all back through again. Let's see where this one goes. This is the motherboard. Right, one cable to go. Come on. Alright, then we go get some edge cutters. Just cut these cable ties off so we can get that cable out. Alright, so that's the old power supply extracted. The new power supply came with this giant bag of cables and accessories. So we'll get out what we need and then we'll patch in the new power supply. Alright, maybe we'll start with the main motherboard one. Go straight back onto the motherboard where the other cable used to go. Make sure that's locked in. Yep, that's good. Okay, we'll tie those back up again when we're finished. All the ports on the power supply are nicely labelled, and there's such a lot of them. Okay, now we've got to get a SATA cable. Let's have a look for our little bag. Well, they give you such a good range of adapters. Here we go, here's our SATA cable. So we get one of these back on the hard drive, or the SSD these days. Alright, then we have all these little ones that we've plugged in. Alright, we'll get some of these, get some more adapter cables. Alright, this is the next kind of adapter cable we need. Okay, 2 spare fittings on that one. Alright, now we've got all the cables plugged back in again, we can start looking at reassembling everything. I've been trying to mount this power supply, but I can see it's just not going to work out. while the power supply itself is fitting okay, there's really just not enough room for the cords with this hard drive mounting in here. If I try and plug it in with the cords attached, it just won't turn. So I think what I'm going to try and do is remove this hard drive and mount it somewhere else, and then try and take out this entire bracket and leave the whole bottom free for the power supply. So we'll see how this works out. So that's the little SSD. We'll take out the other unused hard drive bracket. Alright, so the SSD is held in by 4 screws, so we'll take those out. Worst comes to worst, being a crypto miner, we could just run this off a USB stick off the motherboard as well. So we'll get rid of that. So we've got 4 mounting holes. So we just got to see if we can find 4 places. Well, there's some holes labelled, they kind of look like SSD, could be 88D SSD, but this is what this is. So I think that might work out. Now, the graphics card's going to come down here, so we really want to mount this hard drive sort of higher up. And then that's another option, mounting it on the inside of the case. No, I don't think that'll work, because you can see the connectors here, they're going to be pushed hard against that piece of metal. I think we'll stick to mounting it on this side. I think we'll probably try mounting it up fairly high. So let's see how that works out. Won't know till we try. Ooh, those holes seem to line up nicely. Let's just put one in the other corner and then do a loose fit. Let's try again. Alright, that's just in loose. Let's see how that looks. Yep, I think that's going to work out. Alright, let's do that up the rest of the way now. We clear all the graphics card space here that's going to be needed for the big GPU. Alright, it's just a little trial fit for a couple of the cables. Yep, that's going to go in just fine, and we'll just cable tie those in when we're done. Okay, we've got the hard drive relocated. Now we'll try and take out the drive cage. Now I can see it's riveted in place with about 4 or 5 rivets. So I'm just going to try drilling them out, and then hopefully the cage will come out easily then. We'll just drill out the tops of the rivets. Alright, just 2 more rivets to go on the other side, I believe. Now, 1 more rivet by the looks of it. Alright, let's see if that's been enough persuasion to let this come out. Oh, holding on by 1 thing still. Oh, I think there's 1 rivet below the line of the case that I can't quite see, so he'll just have to be breaking out. Here he goes. Alright, now we have plenty of room for the power supply. Okay, I've just given the case a little clean out, got rid of all the little metal filings, and ready to start putting everything back together again now. We'll take the big easy cables, and the power supply will obviously fit in very easily now. Lots of space. This will make working on this case much more easier going forward. Clicking them until they lock. Yep, they lock as well. And we've got the SATA power. Alright, I think, yep, that's all the power leads back in again. Let's get the hard drive plugged back in. So we've got 2 SATA data cables. I only have 1 hard drive, so we only need to use 1 of these cables. Alright, one's got a right angle and the other one's straight on, so I think we use the straight on cable. Good, that feels good. Now we'll get one of our SATA power cables. Haven't plugged him back in again. Alright, let's plug in a SATA power cable. I'm going to use the one at the end of the cable, I think, to try and minimise the bending on this. Now, I think I'm going to want to cable tie those 2 fairly shortly, so they don't get too much stress on them. I think I'll do that now, actually. Yep, pretty happy with that. Now, I'm thinking I don't really want to have to take this power supply back out again. And they have got me a lot of other cables. And I'm thinking maybe I'll just plug in all these cables and leave them sitting down here and then I never have to take the power supply out. So I've grouped them together. By the different kinds of ends. So I think we'll just patch in all of those while we've got it out to save having to ever pull this out again. That's one. That's the next two. Alright, and that's the last two cables I want to plug in. Alright, let's get him in here. Alright, and there's still a bunch of free ports on this power supply, so it's quite well, oh yeah, taking out that hard drive is good. That's created a lot of space to hold all that spare cables now. I should be able to start slipping him back into here. Alright, let's get some of the bolts and screw in the power supply again. Get those holes to line up a bit better. There we go. Holes lined up. Alright, last two of these screws to go in. Alright, so that's the power supply all in. I'll just give the side a trial fit, make sure it's going to fit for all those cables there. Oh, let's try and put it the right way around. Alright, that fits. It's a little bit tight. That'll probably help a little bit. Another thing I could have done was perhaps brought the cables through the other side here and taken the bulk out straight away. I think this power supply just simply has some thicker wires anyway. Alright, I'm pretty happy with that, so I think, let's just check the other side again. I just noticed I'm missing one of the power cables for the CPU header on the motherboard. So luckily I plugged in all of those cables. So I will just pull one of those out and then thread him through. Those will be fine.
Good, I think we've got them all in again now. Now, yeah, they're a bit bulkier, these wires. They will clear the case, but they don't clear it by a blood extra. Okay, let's put the side case back on. Yep, let's try and do it the right way around. Alright, that's that one all done. We'll put his thumb screw back in. Now we can do the glass panel. We'll just make sure it's got all the rubber feet. Yep, they're all in place. Now let's see if it'll boot up. Alright, time for the power button test. Oh, turn it on the back of the switch, back of the power supply. Alright, it's temp number 2. Oh, that's a very good sign. Cool, alright, so we're all set now for when the GPU arrives. Just about to plug that back into the power. Hopefully that was interesting, and keep watching for hopefully the next part when the GPU arrives.